Thanks for joining us one more time. Casino Guitars here. We're going to talk about his favorite guitar players of yours, and they're probably not playing the guitar you think they were.
Harley Benton's all around.
Maybe.
Sorry, maybe.
Maybe. No, not really. They weren't around these things. So we want to dig into some of these iconic songs, and just a few of them, not many. Have a little fun with it, but they're probably not playing things because it messes my brain up every day. Yeah. And we're not talking about the Monkees, because those are the biggest tone-chasing bands ever. I love the Monkees. God, it's frustrating. Like the
So wild they kicked Jimi Hendrix off their tour.
Isn't that crazy? I love that story. I did that quiz with some guys in the shop the other day. No one got it. They're like, I was like, who did the Monkees kick off tour that was opening for them? And found Jimi Hendrix.
All the 12-year-old girls, they didn't get it.
So speaking of Jimi Hendrix, let's just kick right into him.
Yeah, only ever played Strats, right?
Click like and subscribe too.
Hit the bell.
We forget about that sometimes, so sorry. And thanks for joining us. We've had a great year. 2022 is almost wrapped up. We have a huge plan set up for 2023 for a huge video series coming. Definitely click like and subscribe and the bell stuff. Like, it's going to be fun. There's a lot of free shenanigans getting ready to come out, and just shenanigans. And we're in the pre-production phases of it now. Some of our manufacturers are jumping on board with us because they want to be part of the stupidity that will ensue. So Jimi Hendrix.
Yes.
Strat man, played Strat on every record, right?
Every time, always.
Probably his most famous songs too are definitely all Strats, right?
Absolutely.
That was sarcasm. Dramatic pause. Johnny, give it to me.
Good old Purple Haze. Man's playing a Telecaster.
I still don't believe you. Prove it.
Let me.
Well, the internet says.
And I mean, I think there is slight contention on this one, but I think it's pretty much been figured out that he's playing a Tele.
I just don't understand.
Yeah.
The whole reason I was able to calm my parents as a 15-year-old boy into buying me a brand new shiny Strat was Jimi Hendrix, Purple Haze. Excuse me while I kiss this guy, is what I thought it said for years too.
I don't think Jimmy cared as much as we think he cared.
I know.
I think he just grabbed whatever. If it made a cool sound, he was into it.
You know, that you said that, I think that's what most great guitar players of that generation did. You know, a lot of it was just like, hey, this guitar
They
works.
weren't tone like chasers the way we are, because it wasn't as easy to get guitars back then. It's not like he walked into the Guitar Center and said, oh, what do I want? Do I want the Schecter? Hellraiser?
There weren't brand endorsement on artists and thing. It was like, yeah, it was... that was the guitar, that was the weapon of choice. And being a lefty, it was particularly difficult. So he'd have to rework everything, change them over, string them up.
I mean, you can see early videos where Jimmy's a sideman and he's playing like a friggin' like a Dan Electro or like was it a Jazzmaster or something upside? I mean, yeah.
The Dan Electro, I remember those two. He's got his hair all coiffed up. He's wearing his little sort of zoot suit type thing. It looks ridiculous. How he looks.
Especially a left-handed guitar player back then. You just played what you got a hold of.
He reminds me of like John Mayer in the Dave Chappelle skits when they go into like the barbershops. Like if John Mayer was Jimi Hendrix and they doing that like, wiggle, wiggle, wagga, like, and
then no one cares. They start playing the drums. It's like, oh yeah.
Ding,
like,
ding, 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 ding. That's such a great, if you haven't seen that Dave Chappelle skit, and if you haven't watched the Chappelle show, what have you been doing for the past like 15 years or whatever?
Probably hate yourself.
It's a great show. It doesn't matter what you think of Dave Chappelle. If you like him or don't, like you will like the Chappelle Show. It's absurd, comic brilliance.
Of all the sketch, like skit kind of comedy things, it's probably the greatest.
And there's the other one, God, I just forgot the name of it. That's on Netflix right now. I Think You Should Leave or something. It's
yeah, you guys. I haven't watched
hilarious.
that. You guys were telling me about it. Sean's
hilarious. It's super long burn, short episode, little bits. Hilarious. Anyway, so Hendrix number one. Yeah. Let's jump into number two. Let's go to old Jimmy Page.
Old Jimmy Page, always a Les Paul man.
And Marshalls.
And Marshalls.
100% all the way. Again, like, sorry, I hate sarcasm. I really do. I try to teach my kids not to. We're just doing it just for video's sake. I apologize if it offends you.
I don't care.
It just makes me think of those goats from the other day. But Telecaster.
Yeah.
And Supros.
Yeah.
And some other weird amps.
Little modded Supros and weird amps.
That's
a whole different thing. We'll get into that, right?
Yeah, that's a whole other
some amp things.
No, that's a whole other video. But Telly's on Zeppelin 1.
Yeah.
That's all
you can see him playing the Telly stuff live some
in
too,
the BBC sessions. You know, it's just fun. But we all think of him as stacks of Marshalls and a Les Paul with giant bell bombs, no shirt, lots of beautiful girls, albeit underage probably. Yeah, but sure. Lots of yeah, that's what I think of when I think of Jimmy Collins. I used to read like the unauthorized biography of them, like Mom, Dad, this is why I want to play guitar. And they're like, cool, that sounds great, son. I'm just happy you're reading and doing a skill. I'm like, yeah. Jimmy Page is he's worshiping Satan and hooking up with everybody. Whatever. Yeah, whatever. It was great.
It's all PR stuff.
I was in full belt at 14. I was like, this is what I want to do with my life,
All
Mom
right,
and Dad.
here we are.
That's great. Go for it, son. As long as you're showing interest, you're not sniffing that model glue anymore. I still did that. But no, yeah, it's the tone was not what you think it was.
Well, if you listen to live stuff when he starts playing the big stacks of Marshalls and the Les Pauls, and they kind of had to have the big stacks, right? Because PAs weren't what we think of now.
And it was cooler.
It was cooler, but it sounds different. It sounds way different than the records. And
you hear like live at Madison Square Garden, it's just a different sound.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it is awesome. And that's another misnomer is everyone's like, oh, Jimmy Page and like Led Zeppelin's so distorted. It's really clean.
It's pretty darn clean.
It's just loud. And it's recorded really well.
Same by like,
yeah, I mean, it's just great tones with great guitars. It's not that distorted. There's no pedals making it. I mean, they're sort of later. But it's just amps, juiced.
Yeah.
And doing their own thing. And even not even juiced sometimes. Just great. God, but I love those bomb drum tones in the stairwell. Oh God! But no, it's so that's one of the biggest ones.
Yes.
Now here, and that's pretty obvious for a lot of cats. You might already know this. This one's the most obvious, but we still, again, we deal with a lot of young people too. They have no idea about Sir Eric Clapton. The fact
He's a Strat guy.
Yeah, right. That's it. Always. I mean, he was a Gibson guy for the whole early part of his career. Arguably the best part of his songs.
I was going to say he'd reached his sort of like goddom without the Strat stuff. It was
with the
humbuckers. It was
335,
335 and the
SG.
full SG, and then even getting into the like playing Les Pauls.
The Blues Breakers. I mean, like he was a Les Paul. I mean, we're just a Gibson guy through and through.
Yeah.
And made it sound like no one else at that time. And that's part of why Eric, Clapton's God was written on the walls. And
well, he's totally flip-flopped because he was absolutely humbuckers and Marshalls, and now he is Fender on Fender.
And we have a whole video on this with it was Sean and I. I think it just came out, just like a week ago or so. Yeah. Now, if you're watching this video out of sequence and you watch this in the year 2024, then it came out a year and 2 months ago. But no, it is fascinating that he is now 100% a Strat guy, pretty much.
But you know what I mean? He switched to Strats, and even now where he's sort of, I say landed as if it's can't change, but his Strats now have that boost thing in them.
That's funny, isn't it?
I think it's probably because there's part of him that wants that old humbucker thing that he got, right? I mean,
yeah, because when he was playing Blackie, it was very much in that sort of period, and you get into like Derek and the Dominoes, which again I think might be some of Clapton's greatest works too.
I'll catch hate for this, but I don't know that you can surpass Derek and the Dominoes. I think that's the pinnacle for me in some ways.
I would even say, this is a stretch, but maybe not. I'd say that's a pinnacle of classic rock.
It's amazing.
Of sort of skating the realms between like the stuff that was to come later and the stuff that came before, and sort of bridging that hippie generation in.
I think it's the blueprint for a lot of the like jam bandy stuff we have today, like a lot of the Tedeschi Trucks kind of stuff. I don't think any of that exists without that record, without the.
Well, and let's go to that record for a minute. We all think, here, that's some of the most powerful tones like in recorded music history for rock and roll, blues, bass, classic rock. It was done on a little tiny little thing.
Champs, man.
Little tiny champ. Like this. Like that's a Gibson amp down there sitting behind off camera, but same size. 5 watts of really quiet power. It's that's what you hear. It's not a big stack. It's not even 10 watts, not even 12, 20, it's 5.
Well, because they probably couldn't juice those stacks in the studio and do it very easily, but a Champ.
Well, wasn't that, but the Champ just sounds so good.
It sounds good.
It's so good, and it's just such a magical little moment. And so Clapton sort of like takes the trophy for like the most confused by young cats. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, if you know all this stuff, you know it, and God bless you, that's awesome. But a lot of these cats come into it, you just don't know this stuff.
Well, but I remember learning as a guitar player and being obsessed, like loving Cream, and then thinking Strat, because I had all these pictures of Clapton with Strat and trying to get the tone and being like, because it wasn't the internet, like then where I could go watch the video of Clapton with his full SG, you know what I mean, the famous one now. So I didn't have any of that. All I had were like my contemporary pictures of Clapton in his cool blazer and his like low lace sensor pickups.
Well, that's the same. I was having dinner with my friend Brad last night. Brad is a friend from New Hampshire. He is a latex salesman. He's one of the best in the business. So if you need latex, like and all sorts of things, I can't get into what exactly he does. But he's known for it. Yeah. But no, we were talking about like back when I was younger too, like pre-internet. That's how old we are. I know. It was there, but we couldn't have it because you had to be super rich. I remember like jogging and my mom and dad yelling down the street, being like, I was like jogging, not jogging far, obviously. I was coming home. Like, Sgt. Pepper's playing on the radio. Got to get home now so you can, like, so I got home so I could start learning riffs off of it. Yeah. Yeah, that was just the day of, I didn't know what.
You recording it on your little cassette
player. I had it recorded on the cassette player.
Because that's what you did.
And Brad was like, and then he was answering, he was like, you couldn't understand what he was saying because he had full latex suit on.
Right.
But it was awkward at dinner, watching him try to eat with chopsticks and that. It was strange, but that's another story. It's the joy we have in life. I need therapy. So that's the fun ones. There's a ton more, and the reason we're stopping soon is because I want to see it and share it with us. There's so many.
There's a ton.
These are the big ones. There's a ton of little ones all through there, like, and it's just fun to watch the comments of like sharing it because we learn a lot too. And then this is where a lot of our video ideas spawn from, like great conversations. So let us know what they are. Have fun with it. Stay positive first and foremost too. And have a good time.
Of course they will.
It's the internet. Everyone's positive.
Everyone's so positive.
But this is nothing to be not positive. You can't. Yeah. Somebody's gonna find a way to be not. We don't like what you said.
You guys were wrong. That's dumb. Yeah. I mean, it's possible.
I mean, we're wrong a lot. We don't research anything. We're idiots. Isn't it funny that I had a job as a researcher at MTV, and now my research is this old Rolodex up here, which is like, crusty and gross and broken.
Overrated.
It's like. I don't know. We didn't pay the internet.
We're not like, you're not taking history tests here. This is fun.
This is fun.
Fun conversations.
It's fun,
We can be wrong.
And you should have been when you were. Jonathan just got back from tour like a few days back or something, and we had a power outage because some idiots shot up our power stations in the county. But so it was funny in the shop. Like Derek, Sean, and I were like just huddling. James some too. He'd stop by with macaroni and cheese. And we'd be huddling over our little space heater that we got working because Jason, our friend, our lovely roofer, he just skateboards on roofs. It's a complicated thing. He brought us the little generator, and we had space heaters and our power devices. We were trying to do work. It was so funny, but it was so cold. And it was and just again, I don't know.
I missed it. Sounds fun.
I had a point to that, but now I'm glad you were gone though, because we would have used you for like body warmth, I think. And
yeah, that's probably true.
When he's shirtless, like we just cuddle up on him.
I'm making a lot of warmth. I'm like a little oven, a little stove.
It's so sweet.
A little hairy
He's like
stove.
an easy bake oven. You just put your hand inside. Oh wait, let's stop there.
It's just a light bulb. It's so warm. Yeah, no. All right.
So sounds. On that note, I'm going to consider that bestiality almost because you have so much hair. So if we had to, just a side note, we're done. You can leave now. But if Jonathan was either going to shave his head or shave his beard, which would horrify you or make you happier? Not saying we're doing either. We just had this conversation earlier.
I would be horrified
or his
by
chest. Either. I know. The beard would disgust me.
I still think we could shave my beard.
I can't do the beard.
It would be horrible.
And your kids would disown you.
They wouldn't know who I was.
Like, who is that ugly white thing walking around our house?
That's true.
Needs all this. Thanks for joining us. Seriously, peace be with all you out there.
Oh, I got to say hello to my friend Chris I met in the airport in Las Vegas.
Was it in the bathroom?
No.
Okay.
It was right outside the bathroom, but not in the bathroom.
That's awkward. That's ridiculous. Derek behind the camera. He lost all of our hard drives once in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's true.
Coming home after our interviews with George Loudon and everything. That was funny. Whoops. That was a fun man. I enjoyed it. That was one of my favorite moments. Watching. So, how was Chris?
It was great.
You good?
Yeah.
Nice.
He loves guitars.
I like guitars too. Chris, I didn't get to meet you, but thanks for hanging with Jonathan. Keep him company outside the bathroom. All right, I'm gonna go home now.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's go get some nachos.
Ooh.